everyone, you're fixing to watch my floss tube number 2, but you might notice some changes. I finally got around to changing my channel name. It is no longer my full name, but Stitchin with a Dachshund, because I've got my Stitchin buddy and she's always with me. So Stitchin with a Dachshund is my new channel name. I hope I haven't caused too much confusion by changing it. I hope you still enjoy my video. Stay tuned. Floss tube number 2 heading your way. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my floss tube channel for floss tube number 2. I had so much fun making floss tube number 1, so I knew I'd have as much fun getting ready and for floss tube number 2. Thank you so much for your comments and your subscriptions. They mean a lot to me. I love seeing the little thing pop up and say, you have a new subscriber. I'm like, yay, a new friend. That's how I look at it. It has been 2 weeks, and that's pretty much what I've decided to do, is every 2 weeks do a video. That way it gives me a little time to get some stuff done, because I don't just cross stitch. I also embroider and crochet and do some illumination and calligraphy and things like that I want to share with you. For the month of December though, I put away my illuminated manuscript and my boots, and I've decided I'm just going to concentrate on ornaments. So that's what I've been working on for the last 2 weeks, is some ornaments. And I'm having a really great time with it. But anyway, so thank you for your comments. I was really thrilled when I started reading the comments, and I found a few people that are Texas Stitchers. One is Stitch in Texas, and she grew up in the Clean area, which means when I say something, she pretty well knows where I'm talking about, so that's kind of special. Betty from Paris, Texas. Paris, Texas is a drive for me, but yay Texas, yay Paris, Texas. Thanks Betty for subscribing. And Cynthia from Leander. Cynthia's not that far from me, actually. Leander's like 45 minutes to an hour, depending on traffic. So that really makes me happy that I've got a few Texas Stitchers that said they're from Texas. There might be more, but these are the ones who said that they were from Texas and made me smile. Before I go any further, if you watch my Instagram post, then you know I have a Stitchin buddy. She stitches with me for cross stitch, embroidery, she crochets with me, she reads with me, she watches TV with me. She does it all with me. So she's also making videos with me. So give me a moment. I want to show you where she sits when I make videos. So I'm sitting in this chair. This is her chair. And say hi, Daisy. See, there she is. She's all wrapped up and doing videos with me. Can you show me a pretty face? Yeah, that's my girl. All right, go back to bed. If you have dachshunds, you know that they love to be undercover. They also like to be very close to you. She's very attached to me. Now, she's deaf, and she's not been deaf all her life. She's recently went deaf within the last couple years, so she's gotten very clingy because of it. My son says she is separation anxiety, because if I'm not in the room, she's just a nervous wreck. So when I leave though to go away for a couple days, she'll hang out with my son and she's fine. She eats and she's okay. But the minute I step back in the house, she starts shivering and shaking and wants her mom. So I have to take her. So in the last 2 weeks since I made my first video, what have I been doing? I have been watching YouTube, of course. But one of the things I wanted to do is I wanted to give back to the community that I really feel a part of. And the friendship and the love that's shown in this community inspired me. And I'm like, how can I give back to them as a new stitcher? So I started a daily motivational quote. Now I say daily. I haven't done it daily yet. It's a little overwhelming. You know, you got to film it, edit it, and post it. But I would like to get to that point. I'm working on it. It is a work in progress. The first couple of ones I tagged Floss Tube motivational quotes. And that's so that the people would see the connection between my Floss Tube channel and these quotes. But now I'm going to stop flagging them Floss Tube, and they're just going to be motivational quotes on my channel, which I will talk about cross stitch. I'm trying to keep them tilted towards art, but I don't know if I will or not. I don't know if that'll change. It's, like I said, work in progress. So if you're on my channel, you'll see some motivational quotes. And that's just so that when you're getting down a little bit, maybe you can run a series of motivational quotes. You know, it's not for everybody. If you don't enjoy it, then don't watch it. if you think, oh, I think I'll pop in and see what she has to say today, then grab in there. I told my husband about it, and he came on the other day, and my goal was to make it daily, but it hasn't happened daily yet. So the first 2 days I did it, and the third day I said, you know, I think I'm going to skip it and then do another one tomorrow. And he came home and he said, hey, why didn't you put your motivational quote up? And I'm like, oh, I just thought I would skip it for the day. And he's like, oh, I was looking forward to it. And I was like, you were? And he goes, yeah, I like to see my honey while I'm at work, you know. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet. He's a sweetheart. So anyway, we'll see how that goes. We'll see about the motivational quotes and see if how I can continue that and give back in some way. Anyway, the other things I've been doing is, of course, I've been watching Floss Tube channels. And was watching now the two that I watch on a regular basis. I watch a lot on a regular basis. But Bendy Stitches and Pam and Steph post very much. Tuesday morning, you know, Bendy Stitches is going to have one. And Sunday night, but I watch it on Monday morning. Pam and Steph's going to be there, pretty much. You know, of course, life happens and they don't all the time. But for the most part, they're on a schedule. So I know I'm going to watch those. And I look forward to them. So I was watching Bendy Stitchy, and she brought out her bee mug. And I was like, oh my God, a bee mug. Because I love bees too. Love them, love them, love them. Even have a tattoo of a bee on my wrist. But anyway, she showed her, she was drinking out of her bee mug. Well, I wanted to show you, Miss Bendy Stitches, I also have a bee mug. Different than yours, but it's my bee mug. Now, there's nothing in this one because I wanted to be able to turn it up and see, like a buzz. Isn't that the cutest little thing? I found it at a thrift store. I wish I could have found the saucer with it because I know it would have had something on it and it would have just been adorable. But I have one too, Bendy Stitches, and I drink out of it on a regular basis because I love my bees. So, the other thing when I was watching Floss Tube, Pam and Steph, they did their normal video, but they were talking about a picture of Queen Elizabeth. They watched The Crown, Queen Elizabeth, and they got to laughing, and I think Steph said something like, well, was Victoria a queen? Was Victoria a queen? And she was like, I need to get me a book with all the royalties. Well, I have one, Steph. If you ever want to borrow it, I've got one right here. Just give me a ring, and you can read all about the kings and queens of England. Because, you know, I'm all into the medieval stuff, and I love reading about them. Love looking at their clothes and all the stuff. So, hey, Steph, got you. I can hook you up if you want to learn about them. So, that was pretty much well, I watched a lot more, but I'll get those down in shout-outs. Other than that, let's get right into old business. And I want to say old business because I found something that I wanted to share with y'all. When we moved 5 years ago from a house that we'd been in since the kids were babies, situation happened. It wasn't on our part. It was on the people we were buying it part. Anyway, came down that we had only like a couple of months to move. It all worked out. We moved to a rent house. But in such a short time to get things moved, we had to pack, and we had to pack quick. So we got one of those big containers. We set it out in front of the house, and we just started packing things in boxes and putting them in there, putting them in there, putting them in there. And we both have a lot of stuff because I do medieval cooking, medieval embroidery, other things also in calligraphy and illumination. So I have a lot of tools for a lot of different things. My husband has a full wood shop. Woodworking shop. He has a leather shop. He has some things for metal. He's got a lot of stuff too. So we have a lot of junk. So we were just doing the best we could. We rented. We rented actually 5 doors down from the house we live in now. When we decided we wanted to buy a house, we looked at this house because it's pretty, but it was out of our price range that we wanted to stay within comfortably. And so we put bids in for a house. They fell through. This one dropped its price, and we put a bid in, and Lord and behold, we wound up moving here. But moving 5 doors down is worse than moving across country. Because all we did was get our friends, and we had this caravan going down and coming back, going down. Half the stuff wasn't even boxed. They just went into the kitchen and took things out of the cabinet, put it in the back seat of the Pathfinder, zipped it back down here, and then started putting it in the counters. Still finding things that are lost. And that's where this comes in. We were making some room in the garage for my son's motorcycle because he doesn't like to start when it's cold. Imagine that. And I was looking through a box. And I came across the Ziploc bag that had 25 cents on a garage sale sticker. I was like, oh, let me see what that's in. It was folded cloth. And I opened it up. And then I remembered it. And I was like, oh my God, these were when the kids were little. I can't remember if I bought them or someone bought them for me, but there was 3 stamped cross stitches in a bag, and they had directions and everything, and I remember doing one. I remember bits and pieces about it. But I had 3 children back to back, born in 94, 95, and 96. So doing a counter cross stitch was probably a lot easier on me at that time than trying to count out and do it right and not make mistakes or get frustrated. So anyway, this is the one that I found that was already done. And it's just a stamped piece. Merry, Merry Christmas. The tape on it is just old and crunchy. It's crazy. But I really loved it. I was like, oh my gosh, that is so cute. And I was glad I found it. So there was 2 more. And I picked one up and I started doing it. And my daughter was like, well, I want to do one. And she's not really has an interest in cross stitch or anything. But I was like, okay. So she picked it up and she's done a few stitches in it. But I got on the other one and I finished it because it was just fun. It was just fun to do. So here's the second one. Isn't that cute? Season's Greetings. I decided to do the blue because I watched Stitchin Mommy. I think it's Stitchin Mommy. Anyway, and she had did a gift for her mom by the name of Joy. And it was a Christmas piece. And it had Joy written on it. But she had did it in these blues that faded from light to dark. And I fell in love with the color. I have looked the pattern up and it's on an Etsy shop. And I will probably buy it because I just love the flowers that went around it and everything. Stitchin Mommy. Go check that out. It's beautiful. And she does other work. And I'm going to shout her out here in a little bit. So she'll be in the description. So I did the blue in a fade. Trying to imitate that. I did the hearts in a variegated pink and white. Kind of like a candy cane. That's what it made me think of anyway. And then the lights around it. Just looking like twinkling lights of the season. Kind of like behind me. Twinkling lights of the season. But anyway, I had a fun time doing that. And I hope my daughter does the other one. She said, what if I don't finish it? And I was like, if you don't finish it, I'll finish it. No big deal. So, now, I think, did I say it here? I just said on my other one. Month of December is going to be just for ornaments. I've put up my illuminated manuscript and I've put up my cowboy boots just to work on some ornaments because it's just that time of year and I wanted to feel Christmassy. So last week I showed you 2 completely finished ornaments that I had done, and I had finished them in a flat fold. I think I still have one. I've gifted one, but this was the other one that I had done. And I wanted to do one more for one of my nephew's wife. And as like I said the last time, I had pulled down 4 free patterns. And so I decided to do this one for her. Peace, Joy, and Love. And I'm going to do it as a flat fold. It's going to be a little different because it's longer, but I'm doing it in a flat fold also. Finish that up for her. But I got that stitched in no time. It was fun. I enjoyed this. I'm kind of enjoying the simple little, easy, quick little things. So that will happen soon. And maybe in my next video, I'll be able to show you it finished. Or it might be gifted already. So I had looked at all the freebies. And there was a lot that I liked. There really was. But I wanted to go to the Needleworker shop and look at patterns that I could pull off the wall. And support them too, because I love that shop and I love their help, and I can get things offline all day long. But you know, it doesn't hurt for me to drive to another town every once in a while. It's on a Saturday, and just enjoy the day. And they've got this really great hamburger place called Fry's that I love to eat. So me and my husband will drive down. He goes with me, and then we get a burger afterwards. It's all good. So I went this time and I found a couple. And I found this one. Isn't it cute? It's from Elizabeth's Designs. It's called Christmas Chorus. Just a simple little ornament. I love red birds. I love bees. I love red birds. So I got a few likes. Anyway, so I picked that up with my intentions of doing it twice because I like it. And I will do this one twice. But I did the birds. I did it. Here it is. Oh my gosh. Isn't that cute? Look at this little funny fellow over here. His head turned out darker red than all the rest of them. He's a doll. When I got the pattern, I didn't realize it had beads and you could buy the beads, but I had some red beads at home, so I just went on and put beads in on myself. I love it. I'm in love with it. I will do it again. I believe this, I'll do it again to give one away and to keep one. But it might not be done for Christmas, but I'm going to do another one. But the thing I love about this needlework shop is I went in and I got it, and I told them, and they said, they just went right over. I picked out the material. They cut it for me, and they sent me home with it. And I love it because I don't have to buy anything more than what I need. So, Christmas chorus, one more time. Love it. Second one I bought when I went there is called Christmas Cottage. Elizabeth Designs also. And I was like, well, that's cute. I kind of like that. And I enjoyed stitching it, but I didn't have the colors, and I don't enjoy switching out colors yet. I might pick that up later, but right now I'm just like, I want what it calls for. It just makes it easier. So they cut me, she said, have you ever worked on the incandescent, the sparkly ones? And I was like, no. And she said, well, and she pulled some fabric out and she let me see it. And I was like, well, that's so pretty. I said, well, let me do one on that. If I don't like it, then it's just an ornament. It's just a small piece. I'm not wasting anything. And she was like, that's a good idea. And she cut me a little one. So I started working on it. And not quite finished with it, but I got a little frustrated, so I threw it down because this side right here, I got off count. And look at that. Ooh, snuggers. So anyway, it's going to be for me. So I'm not going to stress over it. I'm going to finish it. I'm going to go on and put Christmas up in here like it's supposed to, and do another ring of the green around it, and it's all going to be good. These bushes right here weren't red in the thing, but I made them red because I didn't have the color they needed, and I don't like switching out colors. I'm not good at it. So anyway, I like it, and I'm going to finish it up, and it's going to be my little wonky pattern, my little wonky ornament that's going to go on my tree, and I like it. So I did that, and I was like, I need some ornament patterns just so I can participate in ornament swaps or make more gifts for people, but I want a quick, fast, easy one. So I got on 1, 2, 3 stitch, and I just ordered me another one just so I could have another one. And this attracted me because it made me think of 60s, 70s era, you know, those ornaments. I loved it. And let me see, it is by Misty Hill Studio. I like the colors. I did wait because I didn't have the salmon in it called for, and of course I'm using DMC, and so I waited to start until I got the salmon because I didn't want to swap out the colors because I liked the way it was. So me and my husband went to Joanne Sunday and picked them up, and I started working on it. So this is as far as I've gotten done on it right now. Right there. I like it. The black that outlines it though, I think is a little harsh. I'm not 100% sure if I like it or not. I think maybe that color that's brown that looks black, is it 3371, something like that. Anyway, I think maybe that would soften it up a little bit and wouldn't be as harsh. But I still like it, and I'm still going to stitch the other little ornament that goes here and all the things, and I'm going to make an ornament out of it. I don't dislike it, just think it might be a little start, and I might try the other one just to see if I like it. So, everybody's hanging in with me so far? Let me get a little drink. Floss Tube Video Making Eve, my throat started bothering me. And I was like, oh no, I can't have a sore throat. So I've got a drink here to keep it up. I might cough. I don't know. When I ordered 1, 2, 3, when I ordered my ornament off 1, 2, 3 stitch, this one, I ordered the fabric that came with it, but they were out. So I wound up getting just a kind of a bluish gray. That's fine. I didn't use this one because it's a 9 by 13 and I didn't want to cut it and all of that. So I just used one that I had gotten from the Needleworker's shop. So I got that. And I had figured, I thought this a while back, that I wanted to do a series of some sort. But I didn't know which one or anything. I just knew that I wanted to do one. And I wanted to dedicate a month to it throughout the year. So I narrowed it down to, I think I want to do a 12 Days of Christmas. It fits, it's 12 days, blah, blah. And I started looking. Nothing was really hitting me. And then I watched Nana's Needles, I think. Anyway, and she mentioned that, I believe it was Plum Street Sampler, Paulette Stewart, had released her 12 Days of Christmas for free. They did a stitch along a few years back, and that you could go get it for free now. And I was like, well, let me go check that out. So I ran over to the website, and it took me a little bit, but I found it. And I was like, yeah, I've seen people doing these, and this, I think I want to do this. So this is the one I chose. So I went in and downloaded them in case they disappear. And I got all 12 days. And I found this material. And remember the box I found? Okay, I found some stuff in there. And it definitely looks like an even weave material. I couldn't tell you anything about it other than that. It's easy to stitch on. So I started the first one, 12 Days of Christmas. It's free, so don't mind showing the pattern. It is Partridge in a Pear Tree. So that's my first one. And then I got like, you know what? I see people doing 1/1 all the time, and I kind of want to try. So I thought, this is perfect. It's tiny, it's small. If I get frustrated, no big deal. I'm not out anything. I wanted to do the same colors that she had done too, but they didn't do that. I didn't do it in what is it called? Classic Colorworks. I did in DMC. So I found me what I thought was a cranberry and a green that I would like, and I started it. So this is my progress. There it is, this way. Partridge in a Pear Tree. Oh my gosh, I love it. Look at that bird. Look at that crown. And look at those pears just hanging down. I'm really enjoying it. A lot am I enjoying it. And it's going to be so cute. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to continue on. And I will take this to the needleworker shop and say, what is it? Can you get me some more of it so I can finish them? But I'm on a good start. I love it. I'm having a good time with it. That's all that matters. Good time, right? Good time. So I think that's all that I'm really working on now. I did finish something. I finished a baby blanket in crochet, and I've already delivered it. And then Pam's Crafty Corner, she did a crochet along for new beginners. Now, I've been doing crochet, but there was some things I needed to tweak in there that I didn't understand. It just wasn't coming together for me. And I've been doing it for years, but I could never get my edges to go straight. My edges went whoop. And she showed a few tips and techniques in there that was just wonderful. And I don't have the scarf here. I should have picked it up and brought it over, but it turned out great. It is. I do show it on the motivational, one of my motivational quotes. So, you know, if you're interested in seeing the scarf, you can jump over to that. I think it's the first one, which explains the quotes and everything. So I enjoyed doing it. And I've already bought some more yarn. So I'll probably do another one or do something similar. I actually took the same pattern that I learned that we did in the scarf, and that's what I made the baby blanket. I was like, I like that. I like the way it's open right here. So I just did it. Now, I'm so excited because when I went to the needleworker shop, my husband, of course, went with me, and I'm looking at the ornaments, and I walk over to him, and I say, what do you think of these? And we're talking, and he goes, hey, is this the one you still need? And I said, yeah, that's the one I still need. And Lois from over there said, that's on her wish list. I'm like, that's so funny. So when I got ready to pay and everything, and I told him I was ready and we had everything and we headed over, he had this in his hand, and so he had went on and purchased this. So that means I have them all. So that means I get to work on them, and I'm so excited. I think I want to start my Winter Wonderland is already kitted up and ready to go, and it's December and I want to work on Christmas stuff, so I will probably start that soon. But anyway, I got my last one. I'm thrilled. I can't wait to get them all done. So, Embroidery Guild. You know, I've told you that I've run an Embroidery Guild out of my home. We meet once a month. Well, tonight is our Cooks Guild Cooks Guild. It's a combination. Cooks Guild and Embroidery Guild Christmas party. Our end of the year party is tonight. So, I'm making a few gifts for people. I'm going to have little mugs with a candy cane and candy and little bits and stuff in them for everybody that comes to the party. But for the embroiderers, I made some needle minders. I just went and got buttons from Walmart and the magnets that I needed. So, because I wanted to fit people's personality. And so I have someone who just loves cats. Whoa, where you at? There you go. Loves cats. So I got a few kitty cats so she can pick whichever kitty cat she wants. Oop, turn it around. There you go. Meow, meow. And a little brown one. I've got a deer. That's the deer, darling. Love it. Here's an old wise owl who's got a magnet stuck to his beak. Let me take that off. An old wise owl. Hello, owl. And then I have a friend who's really into mermaids, like she's in the process of getting her mermaid tail. So we all have our things. And so I made her one with a mermaid. Isn't it the cutest thing? I think she'll like it. They're very simple, very pleasant. I think they'll like it. And the other thing that they're going to get, or some of them will get, not everybody. When I ordered the thread from Mad X Stitcher, then when they were clearancing out a bunch, any that I had in repeat, I threw in a bag back in August. And they're going to get, if they want it, they're going to get to try. I think I have 5 or 6 extras, so they'll get to try one of that in their gift. So we won't be doing any stitching tonight, but we'll be doing a lot of eating and talking and having game time. So, and then we'll start back up in January, learning some new stitches, and that's what we did. We started from the basic line stitch, and we've moved through. We just did the chain stitch, lazy daisy stitch, and then we'll move to some more. Our goal is to get all the stitches done and just be able to sit around and stitch. And you know, and I'm not real strict. We do about an hour of learning and practicing. I put it to YouTube on the TV, and we watch Mary Corbet because she's like the best tutorial about stitching. You can see what she's doing. You can understand her. I'll link her below if I can. Anyway, so we do that, and then we sit around and we just stitch, and we usually have some kind of snack. So we work for an hour, and then we stitch. Everybody does the embroidery. They learn the embroidery, and then they can pull out whatever they want. They can pull out crochet. They can pull out cross stitch. Anything they want to do, they can do. We're very open, but we do learn an embroidery stitch or two every time. My medieval side. It's going to be a segment because it's my hobby of choice. It is, other than my family and my friends, it's like the third, fourth thing, you know, in my life. I do it a lot, and I have lots of friends in it. In that box that we were finding, I found something that I had lost and had forgotten about. And Arlene from ABC Stitch, you showed tatting a while back on one of your videos, and it just stroked my medieval side again. But actually, tatting is not medieval. It's out of the time period that our group associates. We go from 600 to 1600, and it's kind of out of that. So, but anyway, I cannot tat with a shuttle. I'm dyslexic. It makes no sense to me. So I have to do something different. And I didn't know that there was something different with tatting until one day I saw needles at Hobby Lobby. They used to sell tatting needles at Hobby Lobby. I don't know if they do that anymore. So I was like, I wonder if I could do that. So I bought a set, and I bought these books to go along with it. Needle tatting, book 1 and book 2. Oh my gosh, look at some of the stuff that you can do with tatting. I'm telling you, it's absolutely beautiful. I've actually done a lot of these wreaths and gave them away as Christmas presents because they hang on trees beautifully. And you can work it up with the thread that's sparkly and everything. And they work up relatively fast, and I enjoyed it. So when I saw Arlene, it sparked that back there. And now that I found those books, I know I'm going to want to work on some. That'll be after the new year, though. I got some plans that I've got to get Char's embroidery for her wedding completed. So I've got some things that I've got to do. At least I got the baby blanket off, and I got the scarf finished. So I have finished some things. Okay, man cave. As you watch my first one, you know I'm going to highlight something that my husband made. He owns Chisholm Trail custom leather, and his main focus is cowboy boots, but he does leather work. If you call him and you say, I need this, I need a holster, I need this, I need that, can you make it? Then he'll say, yep, nope, whatever, and y'all can come up with a price, and he does it. Well, this last commission was a journal cover, and it's for somebody we know, friends. So he wants to get this for his girlfriend, and he asked him if he could do a journal cover, and Robert was like, yeah, sure, what do you need? And he gave him some ideas about things about her. And so this is what he did. First off, this is the journal. I had found this journal at a thrift store years ago. And I love journals. I don't know what it is. I love them. If I find them, I buy them. If I buy them on clearance, I'll buy them. I love them. So anyway, so I told Justin, I said, tell Robert, tell Justin I have this. If it works for him, he can have it because I've not used it in the years that I've had it. So it worked for him. And Robert started working on the cover. Look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? It's just wonderful. My husband does magnificent work. So he wanted also to represent the raven, because if I told the story, my first one was their first conversation was Poe Edgar Allan Poe, something like that, with the Raven and Annabelle Lee. And so right in here on the inside, he's got a raven. Isn't that marvelous? I love it. I love it. And it smells good. So there's the raven. Here's the front again. And on the spine, he actually put Ashley's name. She doesn't know about these videos yet, so, and I purposely didn't tell her because I knew I'd be showing this. And at the back is nothing. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. He is amazing. So, that leads us right into my shout-outs. So, pardon me if I look down a little bit because I am going to read a little bit of them on here. So, you know I do Oldies But Goodies and then I do Newbies. So, my Oldies But Goodies, and I've already mentioned her up front, was Stitchin Mommy. She just finished Royal Holiday, and oh my lord, it's outstanding. It's gorgeous. It is a work of art, and I say that a lot because it is a work of art. I'd even throw that in Masterpiece. It's gorgeous. I love looking at it. She is also the one who did the piece with joy in it. I wouldn't call it ornament. It's bigger than ornament. It's like a 6-inch ring in those beautiful colors. And I don't know if it was charted for those colors or she did those colors, but I really want to pull that, buy that pattern and do that at some point. I really do. And her temperature garden. I love her temperature garden. I want to do a temperature garden so bad, but I want it to be in a special year. And so I don't have any weddings coming up or any babies going to be born in 2018 that I know of. And so I want to do one, but I don't know if it'll happen in 2018. I also want to crochet one too. I want to do a cross stitch one and a crochet one. But we'll see, because I want it to be for a special year, like someone's getting married or something, you know, and gift them that, you know, this was the temperature of the year you got married. I just think it would be so special. So, I want to do it. Don't know if it's going to happen this year, but it's there in my mind, so it'll happen at some point. Second one, Pam's Crafty Corner. I love Pam because she's the one that I followed for the scarf and taught me those little tips and tricks that I really, really have helped me. And I enjoyed that. She's doing a Vlogmas, and I tried her hot chocolate that she had, and it's a kind of a Mexican style, has cinnamon and cayenne in it. And I've had that before, but hers was really good. I liked hers a lot, and I drank one the other night, sitting right there in my chair stitching. And Nana's Needles. Oh, I love her stitching and her finishes, and I love her. She's just sweet and precious as she sits there, and the way she talks about her husband is so sweet. And then there's Bentley, their dog. He's a rescue dog. They got him from, I think they were saying they were going shopping, and PetSmart or something like that had an adoption thing going on, and they saw him. They took him home, and he's been a part of their family. And I love hearing about Bentley. I'm an animal person. 3 of my 4 dogs are rescue dogs. So I love dogs. And I love cats, but I can't have cats. The dachshunds I have do not like cats. So as long as I have my dachshunds, I can't have a cat. So new to me on Floss Tube. Angel's Craft World. I love her stories. And she's also used to be part of the Society for Creative Anachronism, like I am still actively a part. That's awesome. I love that. So, anyway, I got a message here saying I'm about full, so I'll try to hurry. The next one is Melanie Watkins. You can tell that she has a heart for this community and will stand up for it. That's what I love. She will not take bullying. She will stand up. And then there's Pretty Southern. I watched her unwrap her ornament that she got in the exchange, and oh my gosh, her face was priceless. I loved her, and I will continue watching her. She's got such a good little personality. The last one I watched, when I was prepping for this, I didn't have them on here because I only watched them last night. Stitchin Misfits. Now, Tina Louise, I believe, is the one who normally has it, but she was with Annie, I think, her friend. Their chemistry together is, oh my God, funny. You just go watch it. They rated this one R, and it is a rated R, but I never laughed so hard over poop or couches in my life. They're amazing. Go watch them. I'll link them below. I think that pretty much covers everything that I've done this week. I will come back in 2 more weeks and share more things with you. So right now, go put some thread in a needle and get to stitching. Y'all have a great 2 weeks.